back, baby.
Offense, you know what to do.
It's football time in Tennessee.
Yes, we do.
Get me Tennessee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 1796 Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Norman Vol fan. I'm joined with Ryan. Bryce is out today. He's a little bit under the weather and has no voice. So we're going to, he's lucky we get to cover a little bit of the basketball trouble we've had. We've lost to South Carolina at home. Rough loss, rough performance from everyone but Dalton Knecht. And, yeah, Ryan, what do you really want to, highlight from this game?
Well, you said everyone but Dalton Knecht, but I mean, it's kind of crazy that he drops 31. And if you watch the game, he really didn't play that well until the last five minutes or so. But yeah, if we didn't have him, I think y'all said it in the group chat the other night. I mean, this team probably has 2 or 3 more losses. But the good news is we do have him. But the rest of the team cannot just no-show, or you'll get what you got Tuesday night.
Absolutely. And I know you're never going to probably hear this, Triple J, but I mean, you blocked me on Twitter, so I'm going to say it on here. The fact that you've no-showed for 2 months now, and if what's true that I know about you is true, you're just hurting this team. And honestly, you shouldn't be playing. That's just my opinion. But anyway, we're gonna jump past that. But the team shot 5 for 21 from 3. Just absolutely horrendous, which, really isn't a bad thing usually. But then you miss 8 free throws. I'm not saying go 20 for 20, but I mean, you gotta knock down your shots when you get the opportunities. Like you said, I mean, Dalton Knecht really didn't play it wasn't like a star-studded performance. Yes, he scored 31 points, but I mean, like Sakai 2 points, Triple J 2 points, Jordan Gating 0 points, Awaka even had 6 points, and then Adu had 6 points. Like it was a sad performance, especially at home. But hey, no, you're gonna have an off night, and it is what it is. But we got Kentucky this weekend. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Kentucky also lost in the midweek this week. A Florida team that I said after we beat them that I thought was a pretty good offensive team, and apparently they can score enough to win in Rupp. So I guess that proves that somewhat right. I mean, Kentucky should have won the game if they hit free throws, much like us. But then Clayton nailed the 3 at the end, got into overtime, and Florida went on to win. So you're talking about 2 teams that are going to be needing a win on Saturday. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, we're knotted up with them, right? I think it's 11-11 for this little series the past in Rick Barnes' era.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, if Tennessee's defense shows up, I feel like they should win this game, pretty easily, in my opinion, because Kentucky can't play offense or can't play defense. So, in my opinion, I mean, Tennessee just got to show up on the defensive end. And I feel like I know it's, what's funny, Ryan, is it's kind of like the Joe Milton situation that we used to talk about with Josh Heupel on why is he still, playing him. It's the same thing with Triple J, bro. Like, why are you still playing this guy when he contributes absolutely nothing? Like, you have kids on the bench like Estrella. Every time Estrella comes in, he has valuable minutes. Like, and it's not just Estrella, but you got young kids that could come in, maybe create some energy, at least try it out. I mean, not during the Kentucky game. I'd rather honestly have Triple J just because he's played in this game many times, but still, I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but
yeah, I mean, it seems like a change might be needed, at least in the starting lineup. I mean, throw Meshack out there. Play Estrella more like you kind of alluded to. I mean, we need somebody to bring some energy because right now Josiah just looks scared to do anything offensively. I mean, there was times on Tuesday night where it sounded like the crowd was begging him to shoot the ball. And then
it feels like you have to.
yeah, I mean, and then there's times when the crowd is like, "Oh no, please don't shoot it." So it's just he's got to be in a weird headspace right now. I mean, because in December he was probably one of our better players. I mean, he had 20 points against NC State. He had 20 at North Carolina. I mean, it's just weird how he's fallen off.
Yeah, and we need him, man. I know he doesn't like taking criticism from fans or anybody, but like you can't be this inconsistent. I wouldn't even call it inconsistent. He is consistent on playing bad right now, but like it's absurd. You're a fifth-year senior. You should be doing well. At least I'm not asking for 20 points a game. I'm asking for like 8, 10 points, and the dude could shoot. He could play. He could ball out. But it's just weird, man. It, like you said, it's just, I don't know what it is. I feel like there's something going on, but behind the scenes that no one knows, and because it just doesn't make sense. Because yeah.
I mean, can we also talk about how many shots, layups, dunks around the basket that we missed?
Oh my god, bro! Like even Zakai, and you can't get mad at Zakai. I mean, he's the smallest guy on the court. He's going against 7-footers, whatever. And dude gets to the basket. He missed a couple. Adu was missing a couple shots. It's like, I get, you miss one or two, but all these shots, bro, like we should have beat South Carolina by 20.
Yeah. If we played like, if we put the ball in the basket like we normally do, it's easily a 15, 20 point win, but just didn't happen for us on Tuesday night. And it's, you have to hope that it's an anomaly and just an off night. And I hope that Rick Barnes burned the tape, because that's really nothing. We have not seen a performance like that from Tennessee this year. Like I said, I really hope it's just an isolated incident, and I hope it doesn't carry into Saturday.
Oh, I agree, dude. It can't carry into Saturday, because honestly, if they play like that, Kentucky might beat us by 40.
Yeah, and that's happened up there before. It was 2 years ago where we went up there, and Kentucky at one point had shot 36 shots and made 30. So they're definitely capable in that gym of getting hot and beating us 107-77 or whatever it was. So it can happen, but it's like you said earlier. I mean, Kentucky's defense is awful, but our offense has the ability to be awful at times. So,
but it also has the ability to be the best offense in the country. I mean, you got all those shooters and everything.
Yeah, and that's been, the majority of the time this year. Our offense has looked great, but you just got to hope it looks great again on Saturday. You have to rebound quickly.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I feel like there's not really much to talk about with the basketball thing, but we definitely have something to talk about. What about this NCAA stuff, man? Like, this came out of nowhere, it feels like.
Well, it came out of the mouth, the keyboard, the typewriter, whatever the hell you want to say, of Pat Forty, who is a known he's a known Vol hater. He's hated us since probably since he's been employed at Sports Illustrated, but it really came to light when we started a petition to fire Konza Martin, which led us to Rick Barnes. So we were right. He called us racist, though, just because Konza Martin is black. And then in 2017, Greg Schiano, we did not want even the thought, even in like it. I could spend all day on that, but Greg Schiano was tied to Penn State in a roundabout way. He was on staff. He may or may not have seen a child getting raped and said nothing. Even the chance of that was not going to fly in East Tennessee. And he shit on us for that, too. He said that we were rednecks and our fan revolt was repulsive and all this. So that's instance number 2. And then, just little jabs over the years. But now it's culminating to this, to where Tennessee's not the only school getting investigated. I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to believe that. But he wants to isolate Tennessee and act like we're the ultimate villain right now. So that's my first point, is that this wouldn't even be a thing. It's obvious that Donde Plowman, Danny White, Randy Boyd has known this for a while now, but he has brought it to light. So
Well, you talk about this whole him calling us racist. Did you hear the radio thing he did? Yeah, he's calling us racist. I mean, learn the kid's name, call him Nico. You don't have to do all that they did. I'm not even going to say it because it's actually like such a shame, dude.
I couldn't even watch the video. I saw people. I basically read the transcript of it. I was like, I can't even watch that. Like it would make me too mad. Like it's really not a hard name to learn, but that just shows you how much the national media cares about respecting Tennessee. They don't.
Never did.
But I mean, that's no surprise to me. National media has hated Tennessee for a while because they all think we're rednecks. So and this is my big point, and I'll get off the national media after this. But Pat Forty, Dan Wetzel, Stuart Mendel, Dan Wolken, anybody like that, they attack Tennessee because it's okay to attack Tennessee because we're hillbillies, rednecks, whatever they want to call it. So they get out their hate on a group of people that nobody's going to care that they hate on. That's my final point on them.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is this is all over a private jet. Like, and you know what? Hey, you know our leadership has been absolutely stellar in this situation. The fact that they immediately, even our state government, immediately went to court, didn't even waste time, and the Tennessee Attorney General just took charge and said, "No, we ain't doing this," and there they go. And then Virginia joined in as well. And I feel like this is going to be the final straw for the NCAA.
I truly hope so. I mean, what does the NCAA even do besides like be a boogeyman? Like, do they do anything
I don't think they
benefit
do anything.
They certainly don't benefit student athletes because what they're doing right now is trying to take away rights from student athletes, which is a joke. So, I mean, what do they even do? So I really hope it is the end of it.
Well, dude, and there's no rules in NIL. There's literally like no rules at this point, and then you're bringing that up. It makes no sense to me. Like I said, it makes absolutely no sense. And you put it perfectly. It could have been any other team, but of course he had to pick us to just throw into an article, and I bet you he's never gotten that many views.
I mean, he knows that if he picks at Tennessee, he'll get views because
we all
like
hate
it or
him.
not, we would. It's a mutual hate for sure, but he brought it upon himself. But I mean, and obviously, if anybody is unaware of what we're talking about, the investigation centers around Nico Iamaleava, and I mean, I think that's an easy target if the NCAA wants to flex their last muscle they have, because that was the first really big, high-profile signing that NAL had anything to do with, really. It was the first guy who got that much money. And I guess the NCAA thought we would just lay down again to them because we laid down for them with all the Pruitt stuff. But the difference is we're not wrong here. We were absolutely wrong with Pruitt, and the administration admitted that and let them do what they were going to do. But then a mere 6 months after that ended, they're trying to flex their muscle on us again. I mean, and Donde Plowman, Danny White, the governor, the attorney general, multiple state representatives are like, no, forget that. Kiss our ass. So the good thing about this is that most people are on our side. It's just the minority is the ones that are not happy with us. So
yeah, even JD from On3. I mean, it feels like, this is college football, college sports really against the NCAA right now. Yeah, I know it says Tennessee versus NCAA, but it's everybody. And all these Alabama fans and all these people just rooting for us to get hurt. That's whatever. But you don't understand, if the NCAA did win a case like this, they're just going to come after other schools. And it's just sickening to me.
Well, the thing is, they're not going to win the case because they never win in court.
We're prepared. We wouldn't go to court if we weren't going to win.
Yeah, I mean, but even if we weren't, the NCAA does not win in court because they have no leg to stand on anywhere ever. Like, what they're trying to do is like if your job, wherever you work, you were doing something that they said was fine for however long, and then they make a law about it and said now you're in trouble for the stuff you've done in the past. It's like another example. If you drank before prohibition, if you had a beer before prohibition, they're not going to go arrest you. Like, no, that's stupid. That will not hold up in court. It never will hold up in court. And the NCAA has had more situations, more schools dead to rights than they have us. I mean, obviously we've done nothing wrong, but they had North Carolina dead to rights a few years ago with their fake classes. They had LSU dead to rights with Will Wade a few years ago on a wiretap, and nothing has happened to them. So I don't think a Tennessee fan should be worried about any of this.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't worried in the first place. It just, it's crazy. It just comes out of nowhere, and it's not the first time he's accused us of anything, like you said. So, and his sources are never good. So, I mean, I hope Tennessee goes and destroys the NCAA, and that's not even me just being a Tennessee fan. I think it's just something that needs to happen, and I think the NCAA needs to be gone, and something needs to change.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Mars, the lawyer that went on with Outkick, he's been on with a lot of radio shows in the last 2 days, but he is, saying that Tennessee's going to be fine. It's like I just said, the NCAA has nothing to stand on here. It's antitrust laws. That does not fly in federal court. I hope this goes to the Supreme Court, honestly. Like
it might.
I mean, it already has with the whole NIL situation. That's why it's a thing in the first place. So they've already ruled on this. Like, this is not worrisome to me. It's just a shame that we're going to have to deal with bad pub off a handful of media members who have an axe to grind against Tennessee. But like I started this thing with, they're investigating other schools. You'd have to be blind to not know that or figure that by now. They're investigating the top schools through this. You think they're not looking at Texas A&M after their recruiting class a couple years ago? You think they're not looking at Texas after Isaiah Bond was flexing the Ford Bronco like days after signing there? I mean, come on.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll see. I mean, it's going to be a long process, but the fact that, Blue Blood Bias on Twitter thinks that Nico is not going to play. Dude, whoever runs that account, you need to just find another day job or something to do. Because
what he needs to find a lawyer because he's about to get sued too for defamation.
They should 100%. Nico should.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if his family does that.
But that's one of hundreds of takes that is just absolutely absurd. So, but anyways,
go ahead, man.
Oh no, go ahead. You had something else to say.
It's nice to see people wanting to see you fail. That's how you know you're in a good spot.
Oh yeah, there were some of our players saying it.
Yeah, I mean Jackson Lampley has already got on board with it.
Yeah, I'm sure he declared. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if this does, I mean, it will go to court now, but I'm sure a lot of players will go up and testify. I mean, the whole deal that NIL is not supposed to be a factor when a recruit commits to a school. I mean, that's wishful thinking. I mean, really? Like, I don't know how you even police that. That's just not a thing that is ever going to be, you can't really hold people accountable for that. How are you going to prove it? If they asked Nico that, he would just say no. Like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, I haven't been worried even since it came out. So it's just another. It's oh god, dude. It's just like Tennessee's getting on a roll. Josh Heupel's getting on a roll, and they're like, "Oh, this is one way to stop them, or put a speed bump in the road," and it's not going to. And all these student athletes are going to be telling all these recruits and all this that don't worry about it. Nothing's going to come from it.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee is. There really is nothing to worry about here, but. Like Tennessee is the leader in NIL, so obviously they're going to go after us. So whatever, nothing's going to come of it. But I really want to drive home the point that Donde Plowman, Danny White, Randy Boyd, those are like the three best things that have happened to Tennessee this century for the school and athletics. I mean, they're all stone cold killers.
Absolutely, and we couldn't need them at a better time.
Hmm. I mean, I couldn't imagine the people we've had in leadership in the past trying to navigate this. I mean, it would be a shitstorm of magnanimous proportions. Um, I was enrolled there when Beverly Davenport and Chancellor Davenport, President Joe DiPietro, and athletic director was John Curry. Imagine them trying to navigate this, Jim.
They'd be just bowing down to the NCAA.
Exactly. And it's no coincidence that they're the ones who tried to hire Greg Schiano, and then they were all gone within the year. So I'm really proud to be a graduate of the university. I'm sure all the fans, even who didn't graduate from the university, are proud right now. And you should be, and you shouldn't let anybody tell you different.
Exactly. But there'll be more development here in the coming weeks that we'll keep everyone updated on. But yeah, I mean, Tennessee goes to Kentucky this weekend. This is exciting. Could be a big game, and could be a big win if we could go in a Rupp and take it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna. I'm sorry to go back to the basketball game here from Tuesday night, but why was Jordan Gainey in the game instead of Vescovi at the end?
Who knows? Rick Barnes has some weird theories.
I don't know about that one, Rick, but that's the one coaching decision. But I think you're gonna need Josiah Jordan James to show up. You're gonna need Vescovi to go for 12 or more again, like he did Tuesday. You're gonna need Knecht to be himself. You're gonna need Ziegler to be dishing the ball and finishing at the rim like he wasn't able to do on Tuesday night. You're gonna need a dude to step up because Kentucky's big man, I forget his name. He's pretty damn solid. It's Nwosu. It's something like that. But he is a stud. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds. He almost gets as much as Oscar Tshiebwe did. So Adu's going to have to show up as well.
Yep, got to stay out of foul trouble. I mean, got to be careful because that's what they do. It happened. He got 2 fouls in this game, and then he was out for the whole first half, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that was huge. I mean, it always takes good effort to win in Rupp, but Rick Barnes has done it 3 times since he's been here, and 2 times with teams that I wouldn't really call, like great teams. I mean, they beat them in 2020, right before the world shut down, with John Fulkerson dropping 27 points. They beat him in 2021 with Keon Johnson and Jaden Springer. And both of those, the 2019-2020 team, they didn't have a tournament that year, and they probably weren't going to make it. And then the 2021 team lost in the first round. So it can happen.
Yeah, you just defense got to show up. I mean, offense will come with defense. I feel like Tennessee can't be playing at the pace South Carolina was making us play because Tennessee plays better when they get those steals, they get those transition buckets, and they keep the pace going. But South Carolina, every time they'd come down the floor, it felt like they would just take up the whole shot clock.
Yeah.
Which Kentucky won't do.
Yeah. The game has an opportunity to be a track meet. I mean, Kentucky loves to run. When we're at our best, we're turning the ball over and running. So, I mean, I don't expect this game to be, below the 80s at the least. I mean, I could see easily being in the 90s or even the 100s if both teams are on their game offensively.
Yeah, I agree, and hopefully it turns out in our favor.
Absolutely.
But you have anything else you want to talk about today? I know today's kind of a short one, but
yeah, I just wanted to get some things off my chest about the national media, and to plead people to not worry about this if anybody is worried. I don't think anybody is, considering how encouraging the response from our leadership has been. So, yeah, I'm good, man.
Sweet. Well, shout out to Grade A Grounds again for sponsoring this podcast. And I hope the Vols, turn it around. Hopefully it was just a speed bump on the road. But we'll definitely be doing a pod probably Sunday after the game Saturday. So we appreciate you guys listening. Again, I'm Normal Vol fan, and that's Ryan. And hopefully Bryce will be back by Sunday. Hopefully he feels better. But on that note, go Vols.
Go Vols.